Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be building a Master of Executions and converting his right hand and head to be a World Eater's specifically. I really like the idea of having him be customized for him because I really don't like his original head, and the skulls in the hand were fine. I wondered if I could do something to make it a little bit better. So obviously I fast forwarded some of the clipping out of all the pieces, and let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys like better, the assembling portion or the painting portion? Or do you like your models, would you rather your models just became pre-assembled and sent to you before you had to even do it? Do you just hate the painting part that much? So here I'm going into my big bag of Berserker bits and trying to find a head that I like. So as I dump it out on the table, bits. Looking through, trying to find the right piece, looking back at the original, let's keep those pieces, let's look at these pieces, let's find a head. As I started digging through, I remembered that I had a captain head from one of my combat patrol sprues, and I was thinking about getting, when I get my next set of Berserker units, possibly using that commander head twice, so using this one and the next one I got. But I thought this would be a good use for him because the idea behind the Master of Executions, at least for my army of World Eaters, is he's going to be leading the unit anyway. So I thought this would be a great time to add him to the army instead of waiting for my next box. And, you know, it all works out. So I'm looking at different arms. What's the arm going to look like when I put it on him? What kind of hand do I want? And the question that I had was, does he look right with a gun? Or I wondered if I could get two axes in there, but all the Berserkers have their axes in their left hand and their guns in their right hand, which I also think is kind of a weird part on the Berserkers because they should prefer melee combat, so maybe they should have that on the other side. And for the head, you have to flatten it because on the Master of Executions, the connect point to the body is flat, versus on the Berserker units, it's kind of almost like a bowl on the body, so the heads have like a little bit of a nodule on them, so I had to flatten that off. Here I'm putting together the last little bit. I've glued together everything except for the arm and the head, and just looking at it, okay, how's this gonna look? What kind of angle do I need to have on this thing, if any? And I went ahead and just snipped off the whole bottom, which is pretty terrifying. I probably should have given this a little bit more time, because if I messed up, then that would have been the captain head completely ruined, because I couldn't have used him for a Berserker body, and he also wouldn't have been good for this. So I should have taken probably a little bit more time to make sure I had the snip on this correct. But it worked out, as you'll see. So gluing that on right now, applying a little bit of the old plastic glue, and let me know what you guys think about that as well. This plastic glue needle, I swear, always gets clogged. I have to turn it upside down. I found that kind of helps if it does get clogged, to kind of, I guess, melt whatever's stuck in there back down. But yeah, I definitely am starting to wish I had gotten the brush version of the plastic glue versus the needle version. So yep, just sticking that on there, making sure it is connected properly, not wiggling, not moving. Very, very secured before I move on to the next step in the process. Give it a little wiggle, give it a little jiggle. Nothing's moving. Okay. So far so good. Head looks good on there. I think it definitely, it's hard to mess up Chaos Space Marines when you're in the same vein. And the Master of Executions is designed to look a little just Chaos Space Marine, so I'm sure you could do him for pretty much any of the factions and be good to go. And I was going back and forth, I don't want to cut up these bits, I'm worried I'm going to ruin them. That's what your bag of bits is for. Don't get too much into your head about it. If you're using it for a kit bash or conversion, if you mess it up, just make sure you kept the original. So here I go, snapping off the gun, looking at what it's going to look like when it's on there. Well, yeah, I cut the arm off as well, the top portion of it. I haven't cut off the gun yet. Here I go, cutting that off. filing down any rough edges. Just making sure it's nice and smooth for a connection point for when I was going to connect what I ended up deciding to do was that axe, as you'll see in the finished product. So here I'm looking at the axe, found out one that I really liked, snipping off the bottom, snipping off the top. And looking at that hand that I just snipped off, going ahead and put some of this glue on there and trying to put on the axe. I'll save you about 1.5 minutes of frustration on my end of trying to get it to stick with this kind of glue. Luckily, my friend who I was building with had some super glue, and so I used that to connect the axe to the hand. Here I'm trying to see what it would look like putting the bottom on. And as I was looking at that, I realized that his hand already had a little bit of a bottom to it because he had the gun in his hand. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have almost like a short axe in his right hand? So he's got the big axe in his left hand and a short axe in his right hand. And so that's what I decided to do right here. I was just like, you know what? I don't even think I need the bottom. Let's just put the top on. We're gonna take this glue here and glue his arm to the model, which will be the final step. Waiting, waiting, and waiting. And there you go. It's all done. Overall, this is my first kit bash. Had a lot of fun. Hope you all enjoyed it. Have a great day, and like, comment, and subscribe if you were into that kind of thing. See you on the next video. Take care.